Hey everybody, welcome to Potter's Plant-Based Adventures, and today we're going to make one of Sarah's recipes, perfect for the holidays, roasted pumpkin seeds.
Yes, so I don't have a lot of recipes, but I have this one, and it is wonderful, you guys. So everybody knows how to make roasted pumpkin seeds, technically, like they can be very simple, but the way we have figured this out, it is perfection. You're going to get crispy, delicious pumpkin seeds, not chewy at all. They are going to blow your mind. So there's a lot of little just tricks and tips that you can do, and they're so easy to make, but it's going to make the difference between the normal just, throw them on a thing and put them in the oven pumpkin seeds and the ones that people can't stop eating. When Ainsley had her Halloween party last year, her friends were all like, we don't like pumpkin seeds, and Ainsley was like, just try them, and they tried them, and they went through the entire batch. They were like, these are the best things ever. So
right. This
I'm
stuff
telling you,
knocks it out so it's not fibrous, they're salty, they're crunchy, they melt in your mouth. It takes it that next level where it's not just something you're like kind of, this is kind of fun because it's festive. It's more like, I can't get enough of this stuff.
Exactly. So yesterday, our kids carved the pumpkin. And when they carved the pumpkin, they took all the seeds out. And what we did was we put them in water in a bowl. And then we put a paper towel over that because you want the ones on the top to not get dry. If they're sitting on top of it, they'll get dry. If you put the paper towel over it, the paper towel will suck up the water to keep those ones on the top from getting dry. Then you put that in the refrigerator overnight. That's very, very important.
Just
they need to suck
overnight.
up all that water, okay?
Give them a good 24 hours.
I forgot to grab out a strainer. So yeah, you have to do that a good 24 hours underwater in the refrigerator overnight with a paper towel on top, okay?
Strainer.
So,
and don't try to cover it in aluminum foil. I tried that once, and she's like, wait a minute, where's the paper towel? And I'm like, huh?
You gotta use the paper towel because it soaks up the water, and then it keeps those ones on the top from drying out. And then if they do dry out, you're going to end up with a few of them that aren't as crunchy and delicious as the rest.
So soaking them overnight kind of breaks it up, that fibrous part, right? Because they come out of the pumpkin, they're a little bit dry to begin with. You get them in the water overnight, that starts to break it down, break that starch down just a little bit, enough that we can then put it in a situation where we can dry it off, season it, roast it, and get those perfect pumpkin seeds.
All right, so we strained the extra water out, and now we have to dry them a little bit more.
Yep.
So I'm going to pour them onto a few paper towels that I have here, and we're going to spread them out. They're really cold right now, you guys.
Worth it?
Yep, totally worth it. We're going to spread them out. Now the other good part here is that when you do this, it gives you the opportunity to maybe pick out any little pieces of pumpkin that got left in, which always is going to happen.
The idea here is you want to get all the moisture out, because what you don't want is your pumpkin seeds to steam. You
Yes.
want them to bake and get crispy. Right, Rusty? He loves it. He gets really excited about pumpkin
It certainly does.
seeds.
All right, so now that we've calmed down the barking dog, and I've spread all of these pumpkin seeds out to pretty much a singular layer. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's
soaking up all that water, all that moisture.
Yeah,
You don't want any of that in
we're
there.
just we're gonna put another 3 on top of this, and we're soaking all this up. The other nice thing is, like I said already, and if there's any extra pumpkin that's stuck to your seeds, it tends to stick to the paper towel so that you don't end up with them on your paper towel. So this is our one for our seeds.
Yep.
While we're making it, right?
That's the one where we're gonna
Season them up.
Oil
Yes.
and season.
Now this is the pan I'm going to use to cook them. I like to put some parchment paper down on the bottom of it. You don't absolutely have to, but I find that it makes it much easier to work with.
Yep.
All right.
So while we're doing that, we got our oven preheating at 350 degrees.
Yes. All right. So Kenny, you take this one.
All right.
So there are always going to be some things that stick to the paper towels. That's okay.
Great job for your kids to come help out.
Right? It's always a fantastic time for kids to come help out.
For your husband, who's kind of like a big kid anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, normally the kids are in here helping when I make pumpkin seeds, but it's kind of late tonight. We had a big day of trunk or treating.
That was
so
fantastic.
it was wonderful. Yes, St. Henry put on a great trunk or treat today. So I'm getting all of these off of the paper towel.
I want to miss this one over here.
All right.
Trying to get away.
Here, I'll give you another
What's
one.
great about this is you'll do a batch, and then because you get a couple pumpkins, pumpkins don't last that long. And if you're like us, we start Halloween fairly early. So
it's my birthday month.
It is your birthday.
I was born on Halloween.
Halloween baby.
Yep.
So you do a couple pumpkins, you eat all the seeds. You're like, man, you know what? I need some more pumpkins. I'm gonna have to stop in after work to grab a pumpkin from the local farmers market. Support those local farmers markets. They're usually really high quality stuff at a good price, and they make great pumpkin seeds.
Wonderful.
And we just keep turning them over.
And you can use pie pumpkins for the pumpkin seeds too.
Yeah.
So if you're like me and you make your pumpkin pies from scratch, which I do, that might be another one we're gonna have to do a video on. I do a squash pie instead of a pumpkin pie. So I use pumpkins and other squash to give a little more depth of flavor. So while I usually don't cook around this time of year, that's when I come into my own, apparently.
No, I still can't bake to save my life. I don't like to follow instructions. It's not.
He does not like to follow
instructions. I like to do my own thing.
That's very, very true. All right. So I'm getting the last few of these seeds off, so because we need to make sure we get all of them out of here.
Right. So I'm gonna be snacking on here shortly.
Right.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
The minute they come out of the oven, they are ready to go. So
it's on.
All right. So
a nice bowl full of clean, dried off pumpkin seeds right here, ready to go.
All right. Now
what are we gonna do?
We've got our extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna put a decent chunk of this in, you guys. I don't measure it, so I can't tell you how much.
Well,
it's here. You tell me, Kenny, how much I'm putting in.
All right, let's go. Let's see what you got. Okay, about a quarter cup, 3 tablespoons.
Okay. Then, now you can season these things with anything, you guys. I have had my family make me do Grippo seasoning.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
We did Cajun seasoning once.
But the classic salt and pepper is still the best.
You can't beat it.
I love all the different
every time we try.
Are great, but the classic, if you're going to start with the classic and then venture out.
Yeah, but you always like the classic best. So I'm putting a good amount of salt in here.
Oh,
but that's not, this is just the pre-seasoning.
Yeah, that looked maybe a couple teaspoons worth in there. Just enough to kind of begin to coat it.
Yes. And so we're going to take our spoon and we're going to mix them all up.
All right.
So we're mixing these in. You want to have a decent amount of olive oil because you want that olive oil to cook into your seeds.
It's really important. Low and slow is the way we're going. That's why our oven's on 350 because we're going to be cooking this. Stir, cook it, stir. You keep going this, like you keep roasting it until you get it just right.
Exactly. All right. So now I'm going to pour these onto our parchment paper here.
Yeah.
There we go. And they're looking pretty good.
There's a nice coating of oil. You can see it shimmering over top of it.
Yes.
So that's how we know we got enough on there that it's going to roast into these.
Yes. So
it'll
now
soak it up.
We want to try to even them out as much as we can into, one layer. Like I said, it's not going to be exact.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I never have done that.
It's a little kitchen trick.
Apparently. I'll do that again. Okay. All right, now, and this is very important as far as I'm concerned, but you should probably adjust for your own salt tolerance.
Yeah, we like them salty. We like a lot
super salty. So I go over and put a good layer of freshly ground salt over the absolutely every bit of it.
So we just get kosher salt. You can get the store brand kosher salt, right? And we got a salt grinder. You fill it up, and that just kind of brings it down just a little bit more, so it's not quite as coarse as a kosher salt, but it's got a little more texture to it than your iodized salt.
Right.
And Sarah likes to put a nice thick layer across that. You can certainly go lighter than that. You can always add more as you trial and error. If you like it nice and salty, put a nice thick layer. If you're just trying to give me a light
salty, if you're looking for like popcorn level salty, like serious salty, put a nice good layer because they will suck up some of that salt.
Same thing with the pepper. You want to be able to see it on there.
Yeah, I do less on the pepper, but I still put enough on that I'm seeing the pepper on there.
Right. The salt was almost like a glaze as you came across there, and the pepper is more like a light snowfall.
Like a light snowfall. There you go. Let's not be talking about snow yet. I'm not quite ready for that.
We are in fall season.
So,
all right, there we go. Look at these babies.
If you could see these, we've got a lot of salt, and you can see the pepper, a little decent amount of pepper on here, and they are nice and ready to go in the oven. So we're gonna put them in the oven.
350 preheated.
Yes, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them in there for 8 minutes. Then we're gonna take them out and stir them. Then we're gonna put them in for another 8 minutes.
Yep.
Usually about that time they're done, but what you're looking for,
the third time.
The third time, I'm sorry. Then we take them out, stir them, another 8 minutes. Usually about that time, after the third time, they're finished. But what you're looking for is that you want them all to consistently be a light brown color.
Yep.
And I will be honest with you, it's better for them to be too dark than too light.
Yep.
Even if these things burn a little bit, they still taste fantastic. But if they're not cooked enough, that's when they taste too chewy.
Yep.
So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jump off here while we let these things cook, and then we'll be right back to show them to you guys. All right?
See you soon. And we're back.
And it's time! Yay!
Right?
So,
I am ready for these.
I know. So I just pulled them out.
Oh, look at those. So you got a little bit of brown, a little golden brown on there.
A little golden brown on these. I don't know. I can't. It doesn't seem like in the picture that you can see as golden brown as they are.
It never is in the
You
can.
want them to be nice and golden brown.
So it was 350 degrees, 8 minutes, 3 times. After 8 minutes, give them a stir. Another 8 minutes, give them a stir. Another 8 minutes. Bring them out, stir them, let them settle down for a few minutes, and then it's time to snack.
It certainly is.
Right?
So
I'm not even waiting for you to get all this in there. I'm getting into these.
right? And they are perfection, aren't they?
Yeah. A nice crunch to them.
Mm.
I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah,
That's
you
delicious.
can hear the crunch on them. That's
So
for
good.
sure. Oh,
Well
they're
seasoned.
fantastic.
We just sit there. We'll sit at the bar tonight and just pop those.
Yeah.
Watching TV.
Definitely.
Get a sports game on.
These things are amazing.
The like movie theater popcorn is a good comparison. So you got like the salty, the flavor from the
I don't know.
oil.
Can you see this? You
No,
see all the
salt.
salt?
That's how we
You
like it.
want to make sure that they're nice and salted, because even these, I'm trying them and I'm like, should I have gone more salt? Look at all the salt that came off here. These things need to be nice and salted.
Well,
That's the way
you
they're
want the
best.
salt to stick to it because it doesn't really absorb it.
Right. Oh, that's so good, you guys. This is the only way to do pumpkin seeds anymore. My kids erroneously tried to buy pumpkin seeds after the season was over.
Not the same.
From the grocery store. Ainsley put them on our Instacart list because, we weren't going to be getting pumpkins anymore. So she tried to buy salted, roasted pumpkin seeds from the grocery store. She got them in, opened them up. Her and Logan took one bite and they threw them away. They were like, this is not even close. This is the way you do pumpkin seeds, you guys.
Every time.
Every time.
Yep, there you have it. The best way to roast pumpkin seeds, Sarah's recipe.
Yay.
And we know there's a lot of great food out there in the world, whether you're out on the road trying to find it or right here in your own kitchen. Remember, everybody, be safe and stay hungry.
Bye, guys.